Hello everyone, I'm Callum from KB Ants and welcome back to yet another video. I'd just like to say Happy New Year to all you lot, and I hope this year is going to be a lot better than the last. So in this video I'm going to be creating a new world for my Polyrhachis dives. The nest is from Antboy UK and he also included pretty much everything that I needed to create a natural setup for my Polyrhachis dives. So he included springtails, some cork bark and a nest ball for the Polyrhachis to make a nest in. And he also sent me some isopods as well. So that's the Polyrhachis pod. I found out that Antboy did these nests from the Colonialist. If you follow him on YouTube, he's got his Polyrhachis in this setup and it's amazing. I got one with 4 ports so that it can be like the main one, and then I can branch off into more pods when the colony gets bigger. So that's the clay ball substrate that goes on the bottom, and it holds moisture really well to create a good amount of humidity in the nest. And that's the bio substrate that goes on top. So basically you want to put a layer of the clay balls which will soak up water when you put it in the setup and hold on to it, so that it slowly creates humidity in the setup. And Antboy UK included all this for me, which is amazing. So that's the mesh that goes on top to stop the bio substrate from mixing with the clay balls. Also, I'd like to say I'm not sponsored by Antboy UK or anything like that. I bought this with my own money and it was a really good price, to be honest. So this is the bio substrate. The Polyrhachis can also use a substrate to weave the nest as well. That outward you can see in front, that's what the Polyrhachis are in at the moment. I did it as sort of like a temporary, like a nano natural setup for them. They're in a test tube inside of that with sphagnum moss and stuff, and they've weaved on the inside of the test tube. So until I moved them, I didn't realise how big the colony had got. You'll see later on in the video when I put them into this setup. So this is a tub of springtails that I'll be adding. This is a tub of isopods. Like little small wood lice. And some more springtails. And the idea with these is that they keep the setup nice and clean, so any waste, any dead ants or anything like that, they decompose and turn it into nutrients for the substrate. So we'll give the substrate a quick water, because I will be putting the Polyrhachis straight into this setup once it's made. So we'll put some of the cork bark in. And I noticed the piece I got was quite big, so I just broke it into smaller pieces and then put it into the setup. I also put a fake plant in it as well. So that's the nesting ball. And the idea is that it creates a good foundation for the Polyrhachis to weave the nest inside. I think that looks good so far. So this is them in a test tube. As you can see, they've weaved on the outside of the test tube, so I couldn't really see how big the colony was. But I'd estimate about 50 workers. I put some sphagnum moss in for them because they love weaving with sphagnum moss. And also put pieces of dead leaves and stuff like that in for them to weave the nest with. They already started exploring the setup. We'll get a close up in a moment so you can see them exploring. So let's take a closer look and see what's happening. So you can see there's a lot of ants in that test tube. There's also quite a lot of brood as well. The water feeder in the top right is actually an ant hut water feeder. It works really well. I'm happy to say also that the next morning I noticed that they completely moved out of the test tube and they've started making a nest in between the nesting ball and the cork bark pieces, which there'll be a clip in a second showing them actually using the larvae to weave the nest. So this is the following morning. You can see the nest ball to the left and the cork bark on the right, and the building weaving a nest in between there. They've carried bits of sphagnum moss and substrate to weave onto the nest. See that worker there carrying a piece of substrate. Really amazing to see. hope you liked the video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell to stay up to date with all my latest videos. And thank you for watching.